Tim in Neenah, Wisconsin, not far from Appleton, right?
Yes, that's correct.
How are you, sir? Great to have you on the program.
Hi, I'm good, thanks. I wanted to talk about this election in Florida, and I find there's really encouraging aspects when you look at the campaign financing. That last year it was reported that the RNC outraised the DNC, and yet Obama for America, or Organizing for Action, or whatever you want to call it, is outraising the Democrats on top of the Democrats trying to fund these campaigns.
Wait. I've lost you. Obama's Organizing for America outraised the DNC?
Yeah.
Okay. How's that good?
Well, that's not good for the Democrats. If they're going to go into this midterm election thinking that they're going to spend their way out of their problems here, they're going to have to go to Obama for money. And how do you not become a toxic candidate if you're getting money from Obama to fund your campaign and then running against health care?
Yeah, but I understand that. But when this is one election, nip and tuck time, Organizing for America is Obama's group, and Obama's notoriously cheap and selfish. He doesn't help other Democrats. That's your point, right?
Yeah.
But the Democrats, like I said, they've got an opening to also run against Obamacare now. If they want to try it, I mean, it'd be much more difficult for them than the Republicans do it. But they can do it whether they've got any money or not, and they're going to have money. And look at in this race, is your point also the RNC didn't spend a whole lot of money here?
Well, right, they're sitting back on a bunch of cash yet.
Yeah, well, that hasn't usually meant anything good. This I'll tell you what this is shaping up to. This is shaping up to be a 2010 election where the RNC they were not a factor. Now, the 2010 election was the midterms were Tea Party, and the Tea Party was not a big presence here, although they were demonized, but they're not a big presence in this district. But it's similar in the sense that this was a bunch of people that got together, Republican conservatives, opposed to everything Obama was doing, and they stood up and stopped it. And that's what happened here. The Republicans, remember, Chris Christie just went to sit back and said, we've got to change the way we're doing things. We've got to say what we're for. We just can't keep getting along with what we're against. Well, what happened here? What happened here was this is totally a victory by somebody saying what he's against. And in the process, he also identified what he was for. The two things do go together. But your point about money, you think the Democrats are not going to have enough money because if the DNC can't even compete with Obama's money and Obama's doesn't share, then they're up a creek. Is that it?
No, I think they're really panicking. And like when they had this all-night get-together at the Senate the other night, that's just, they're trying to ease other donors to get more money to them.
Well, that's true. That global warming thing was all up. The global warming guys. What was this guy's? Steyer was his name? Jim Steyer or something? He's a multi-billionaire. One of these Hollywood leftists, or hedge fund leftists in Hollywood. And he threatened the Democrats. And look at, you guys are not doing enough on environment. You're not doing enough on global warming. He threatened to withhold. This guy gives them hundreds of millions of dollars in election cycles. He threatened to withhold it. So they did this talkathon. So Tim may have a point here. I think the problem most everybody has is, and it's unavoidable, the media is what it is, and there's not much escape from it. Got Fox and talk radio. Everywhere else that you look, if you want to find out what happened on the Malaysian airliner, you're also going to hear about the latest, greatest thing Obama's doing, the latest, greatest thing Harry Reid's doing, the latest, greatest thing the Democrats, and you're going to get the idea that they are swimming in fat city. And the truth is, I think just the opposite. But the media obviously is not going to give any indication of that. So an election like this comes along, and reality trumpets everything that the media has been saying and creates an entirely different reality for people, and everybody's shocked. I think there is so much disfavor against the Democrats right now among people that are not even particularly political. This Obamacare is bigger than anybody, particularly in the media, will acknowledge. This is a total disaster. The Democrats made this health care. For all these years of talking about it, they've convinced people it is the most important thing in their lives. It's the one thing separating them from bankruptcy. It's the one thing separating them from death. It's the one thing separating them from misery and happiness and so forth. And here comes this big fix, and it's nothing but cancellation after cancellation after cancellation. People are scared to death. And those who haven't been canceled can't afford what it costs. I'm telling you, the national sentiment against this and the Democrats is twice or more what you are going to believe if your only source is the media. And that is everybody's source. The media is what it is. I mean, there are alternative places, but they're by no means with the penetration or size, other than this program, of course, which is why they single-handedly target it for destruction, but it failed because of you. Anyway, Tim, I appreciate the call. It's a good point. I got to take a quick time out, folks. Back with much more before you know it. Don't go away.